All right, everyone. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. A nice early morning stream, at least where I am in Canada. Thank you so much for joining me now. Hopefully, everyone can get in here. I left a comment a little bit earlier. Again, a little bit more of an impromptu live stream. We usually go a little bit later in the day, but I've been sort of on this early morning kick. That way I can get some work done a little bit later on. But hopefully, again, like I said, this time works out for most of you guys. So if you can hear me, please let me know in chat. That would be greatly appreciated. And also just let me know if it's coming in nice and clear for you guys. Valley, thank you so much for joining. First for Health, that's right, you're the first one in here. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting the thumbs up come in, guys. I think it's going to be a pretty important topic for today. We're going to be talking a little bit about, herbs and spices to help relieve respiratory and congestion or congestive related symptoms. Again, we're coming into cold and flu season, especially where I am. So again, I believe that this is a really important topic. Now, just off the bat, I just want to make sure that if you are dealing with any respiratory issues, major respiratory issues, congestion, things of that nature, make sure that you speak with your medical practitioner. All right, guys. Now, I will give you guys some nice herbs and spices, but I also just want to make sure that you guys are really taking care of yourself. Speak with a medical practitioner as well, but we can definitely go over some of those helpful herbs and spices today. Watching first time your channel today. Well, welcome, Valley. Thank you so much for watching. How did you find the channel? Did it pop up in the live, or did you find it on YouTube? Always interesting to hear how you guys actually found the channel, if it was recommended or anything like that. But yeah, guys, feel free. I know that a lot of the western side, so sort of like the United States, Canada, maybe even South America, things of that nature, I think it's going to be maybe a little bit early for them, but hopefully we'll start to get them trickling in. But you know what? I have lots of other people who listen all over the world, so I'm happy to have you guys, more than happy to have you guys listening as well. I was researching for hazelnut benefits and found your channel. Was my choice. Oh, awesome. Hazelnuts. Yes, definitely some hazelnut videos. Lots of healthy fats on the channel. So that's great, Valley. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. So again, guys, as you're starting to roll in, let me know where you guys are from. Let me know where you heard from the channel. All right, and let me know what you guys think of today's topic. Again, always greatly appreciated. Your guys' support goes a long way. I mentioned this in my comment a little bit earlier. Your support goes a long way in helping me to be able to keep creating this content for you guys, whether it's live streams, whether it's videos and things of that nature. We're even getting into TikToks and to Twitter and all that other good stuff. So thank you so much for the support, guys. So, let's just talk a little bit about, what is respiratory illness, all right? Because I think that's a good way to start. Respiratory illness or even respiratory symptoms, all right? So, of course, most of you probably know it's going to be some sort of disease, some sort of symptoms related to either our lungs or other parts of the respiratory system. There's a ton of different respiratory diseases, especially in the wintertime where we're dealing with a lot of infections. Sometimes it can be colds, sometimes it can be flus, mucus buildup, I guess more on the side of, being a little bit more intense and when we're comparing to cold and flu, things like pneumonia and things of that nature, those unwanted infections that we're dealing with. You could be dealing with pneumonia, mucus buildup. And then a lot of times, you'll have people who are dealing with smoking. All right. A lot of the time, smoking can deal with respiratory illness. All right. Asbestos, other air pollution. So this is a thing, and just like we talked about with heart health, this is a thing that's going to be really, really common, all right, especially going into the future. I think with heart health, it was something like almost 30% now. Respiratory illness is going to be right up there along with heart health. Okay, great. We have more and more people coming in. Thank you so much, guys. Chester, watching from Ecuador. Well, welcome to Ecuador. Thank you so much, Chester. Quartz Hill, California. Good morning. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Leticia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm not. Morgan, I have COPD and asthma. Excited about this. Okay, great. COPD. Maybe we can even start there. I have actually had family members with COPD. So I think that's one of the reasons why I got into this topic in the first place. So definitely know a little bit about COPD. And again, guys, I'm not a medical practitioner, but just someone who does a lot of research on these topics. So I just, again, want to point that out there. Always speak with your medical practitioner. But COPD, definitely have been looking into that more and more, especially dealing with herbs and with spices. And just because I've had family members with COPD in the past as well. So thank you so much, guys, for coming in and letting me know. Look at that. Ecuador. Where are you from, Valley? Chattanooga in there. Very nice. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate this. As you guys know, I always get a kick. If you always watch these streams, you always know how much I appreciate you guys letting me know where you're watching from. So thank you so much, Lynn. So let's see if we can get right into it, because we already talked about respiratory illness, COPD being one of them. All right. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. All right, that's what COPD stands for. All right, so again, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. All right, so that's included in your respiratory illnesses. All right, and very, very common, becoming more and more common, I think, especially with like air pollution. Smoking is a big one. Secondhand smoking with COPD and all that other stuff. So definitely we're seeing COPD up on there. All right, now with congestion, all right, again, a little bit different than respiratory illness, but a lot of the same symptoms as well. So basically, congestion, we're talking about the lungs, guys. Sometimes it can be sinuses, so maybe with nose, things of that nature. But congestion, all right, is going to be within our chest. So chest congestion is going to be the accumulation of mucus in the lungs, all right, which can affect, things like breathing. Sometimes you'll have sort of that coughing, almost that wet cough, or even a wheezing, all right, when you're breathing, all right, and it's just not very pleasant at all. So wheezing when you're breathing out and breathing in, things of that nature, all right. There's a lot of different things. Cold and flus are one of the main viruses or infections that are going to cause chest congestion. And a lot of the times it's really hard once we have that chest congestion for our body to remove that mucus, all right, and different pathogens that are actually building up in the respiratory system, in our lungs. So I hope that gives a little better idea of what I'm referring to when I speak about respiratory illness and chest congestion, okay? A lot of them are going to be the same. A lot of the herbs and spices that we talk about are going to be very similar in the way that they can help us relieve some of those unwanted symptoms. Morgan, listening from the UK. Awesome. See, this is what I love. People all around the world coming in and listening. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Valley, if you can let me know where you are, that would be amazing. There are so many natural antioxidants to fight off respiratory issues related to colds and flus. Fresh fruit, vegetables, and fresh herbs. Absolutely. And that's our topic for today, Marsha. You're exactly right. So natural remedies, all right, to dealing with respiratory and congestion symptoms. And those are some of the ones that we're going to be speaking about. I think if you're going to be talking about antioxidants and things like that, maybe just before, because we're going to get right into the herbs and spices here in about 1 minute, guys. All right. So I think if you're going to be talking about antioxidants and things of that nature, all right, you're going to be wanting to talk about berries, super high, like blueberries, super high in antioxidants. Teas are another good one. So like a green tea, turmeric tea. Turmeric is great as well. Another great one for antioxidants, all right, is probably going to be like raspberries or blackberries. And then I would go with your dark leafy green vegetables like broccoli, spinach, kale. You guys know some of my favorites, all right? So thank you for pointing that out. But for fresh fruit, I would always go with blueberries, guys, and lemon water. Those would probably be the two that I would recommend the most. So thank you very much for pointing that out. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about some of the best herbs and spices when it deals with respiratory and illness and respiratory illness and congestion symptoms. Because, again, it's that time of the year. We definitely want to make sure that we're dealing with them and dealing with them successfully. And as Marsha already pointed out, naturally. All right, so one of my favorites, and one that I guess that we can start with, all right, guys, is going to be one that's called Yarrow. All right, Yarrow. Okay, so has a long tradition of herbal medicine. And the great thing about that is there's been numerous studies when it comes to yarrow. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of that before. I'm going to type it into chat. All right. If you're trying to get rid of sort of respiratory and congestive symptoms, all right, yarrow is going to be a great one for you guys. And thank you so much for the thumbs up. I see them continuing to go up there. So thank you very much, guys. But yarrow is a great one. It's going to, for one, all right, used almost, I think, generations, maybe even thousands of years. And what we see in different studies, one, it's going to help to support overall lung health. So if we are dealing with things like chest congestion or respiratory infections, it's going to help support overall lung health and function to help fight off those respiratory illnesses. All right, and then also not only fight off those respiratory illnesses or congestion, but also increase overall respiratory health. Okay, and that's been backed up by a couple studies already. So we kind of get a 2-for-1 when we're talking about yarrow. For one, long tradition, long time used, especially sort of in Western Asia and also a little bit in Europe, and now it's starting to make its way west. All right, used as sort of a herbal medicine, but again, support lung health. All right, and support respiratory health. All right, and we want to always make sure that we're supporting lung function. Two very, very important things. Oh, Joe from Ghana. My pleasure. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, you use it as a tea, Morgan. Excellent. Yeah, yarrow tea is very, very popular. That's probably one of the easiest ways to actually get it into your diet. But yeah, yarrow tea, very, very helpful. I think that would make a good video. If I haven't made it already, a yarrow tea video, all right, would be very effective, I think. Just so many health benefits, not only to respiratory and congestion, but just health benefits in general. So yarrow is a good one as well, guys. All right, so make sure if you are dealing with that, yarrow might be a good one to start with. And again, with these herbal medicines, all right, just to make sure that it's right for you, you may want to speak with your medical practitioner or a naturopath or someone along those lines, just to make sure that it's right for you guys. So I'm throwing them out there. You just want to make sure that it's right for you. Some people can react differently to different types of herbs and spices. So again, I just want to make sure that I put that out there. All right. Now, another one, all right, and maybe you guys have heard of this one before, all right. Another nice important one is actually going to be eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is widely used to help with respiratory illnesses, all right, and also congestive symptoms, all right. Now, nice. Now, for me, this is great because it looks like the thumbs are going up. They're going up, down, up, down. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing, but thank you so much if you're putting a thumb up to the channel. Sometimes it gets it gets a little bit wonky for me at times. So thank you so much. I'll just say thank you so much for the thumbs up there, guys. So I'll just finish off with eucalyptus. All right, very, very commonly used. All right, it can really, really help. It's one of the most popular herbs actually to help deal with congestion and to get rid of congestive symptoms, especially chest congestion. All right. All right, it's typically used as an oil. All right, so you guys have probably heard of eucalyptus oil before. Again, you can make a tea out of it, just like it was brought up in chat before. All right, and you see it in a bunch of different sort of things like decongestions, so lozenges and things of that nature. But its strong scent actually has decongestive properties, okay? And what that can help with is reducing the buildup of mucus within the lungs and the chest. So eucalyptus is a great one, guys. Eucalyptus is very, very popular, especially when it comes to dealing with not only respiratory illness, because remember, mucus buildup can also lead to respiratory illness, all right? And also congestive symptoms, all right? Getting rid of some of that, the mucus buildup, all right, that cough, COPD even, all right. Sorry, I'm just taking a quick sip of coffee here. And again, you always just want to make sure that you talk to your doctor about it. Sometimes people don't deal well with actually taking it and consuming the oil. A lot of times people will actually get the benefit of actually smelling, or if you use it in sort of that vaporizer, where it's creating that mist. A lot of people will actually get the benefits that way. So that's one of the reasons why you might want to speak with your doctor about it. Sugar suppresses our natural immune system. Absolutely, Marcia. You're not wrong on any of this. And I think right now that's a pretty general statement. Sugar and sodium are two, I'd say, one of the worst things for your immune system overall. Sugar has absolutely no helpful benefits when it comes to your immune system. It only hurts the immune system. There's no micronutrients in it, and it creates tons of inflammation. So it can actually weaken your immune system as well. So absolutely. What's a good herb for gout? Well, one, water. All right, so not a herb, but water is great for gout. Another good one for gout would be turmeric, because it's an anti-inflammatory. So I would start with turmeric, and just making sure that you're drinking tons of water. Another nice one for as a herb, I would go. So herb would be turmeric would be your spice. If I was to maybe suggest a herbal remedy for gout, I would go with stinging nettle. All right, so you could have nettle tea, something along those lines, Letitia. Hopefully, again, I'm pronouncing that right. But stinging nettle would be a good one, just because it has really, really strong anti-inflammatory properties. That's why I said turmeric as a spice. Again, one of the best natural anti-inflammatories out there. All right, so traditionally, stinging nettle is used to help get rid of gout. Many studies refer to this. I would be fairly confident in saying that if you are using stinging nettle, then you can see some benefits dealing with gout. But a nice natural home remedy for gout, again, I would go for a spice. Turmeric is a nice one. Stinging nettle is a nice one for reducing inflammation. And then also maybe one other one, you could maybe throw in something like dandelion teas, or even milk thistle. All right, those are all good for gout. Hopefully that helps. Okay, so eucalyptus is going to be a good one, guys. All right, and again, you'll always want to make sure that you talk to your medical practitioner. Okay, just because, again, with eucalyptus, again, I don't know your exact situation. Maybe you could be pregnant, things of that nature. That's why it would be almost it would be irresponsible of me to just say, take this herb, take this spice. I don't know your exact situation. There's lots of variables out there. Some people react differently. Some people have allergies to different types of herbs and spices. Some people have issues with digesting some of them. All right, so I would just make sure that you speak with your medical practitioner or someone within the medical field before doing that. But hopefully that helps, Letitia. Stinging nettle, can't go wrong. Dandelion, turmeric, all of that good stuff. Great herbs and spices for gout. What would you suggest for poison ivy? Okay, so poison ivy, do you mean relieving poison ivy symptoms? Or as a treatment for poison ivy? There's a few of them. One typical one, maybe not even a herb or a spice, is calamine lotion. I know that's a great one. It's an antihistamine, and it can reduce itching. So hopefully that helps, Lynn. But calamine lotion is actually very helpful. Some people will even put oatmeal on it, believe it or not. Maybe one last one would be apple cider vinegar, and maybe I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, so the treatment. So that would be, calamine lotion, number one. Again, that's tried, tested, and true. All right, that's been used for a very long time. Some people will put oatmeal onto it, and then other people will even put things like sort of a hydrocortisone cream on it. Even apple cider vinegar can help a little bit as well. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so let's go to our next one. All right. So again, there's many different herbs, especially when it comes to dealing with congestion and congestive symptoms. We already know this. I want to spend a little bit of time on herbs, and the reason why I said thyme there, all right, thyme is going to be a good one for you guys. I'm going to make sure I write it in chat just so you have the correct spelling here. I'm going to have to find it. I wrote it down. There we go. Okay, so thyme is a good one. Thanks, you were saying my name correctly. Okay, perfect. All right, great, Landon. I hope that helped. Thank you so much for the question. But yeah, poison ivy, not fun at all. So another one, guys, and what we can see with these different herbs that are helpful for congestion, especially chest congestion, thyme is a great one. All right. Yes, it can be safe for people who are pregnant or people who are nursing, but just make sure that you speak with your medical practitioner again, guys. I cannot stress that enough. All right, so another good one, I'd have thyme tea. That would be a good one. You can also put thyme into a lot of different recipes. Some people will even put it into their smoothies. All right, but that's a good one to help relieve congestion. All right, help relieve respiratory symptoms and things of that nature. All right, and when we're talking about, again, guys, remember, respiratory and congestion, we're talking about chest, so lungs and things of that nature, trying to improve our overall lung health, like we talked about COPD a little bit earlier. Again, COPD, all right, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, all right, that's going to be obstructing airflow into your lungs. All right, so we want to make sure that we're keeping the lungs healthy, all right, and also helping to prevent those different types of diseases, things like chronic bronchitis, all right, things of that nature, all right. We want to be staying away from that as best we can. We can be doing that through herbal supplementation and also different types of spices, all right. So another one, guys, that I would recommend to you, thyme is a nice one. Thyme would be a good one. Another one is going to be oregano. That's a very, very important one. Thyme and oregano, you can have fresh or dried, guys, fresh or dried herbs at a safe dosage. And again, the nice thing about thyme and oregano is if you are having it as a dried or a fresh herb, you can easily make that as a loose leaf tea. Again, you don't need a lot. It's like one pinch, all right? It's like 0.5 grams maybe to maybe 2 grams, something of that nature. Especially with the oil, you don't need much at all. A lot of people will maybe suggest like a milliliter of the oil. I don't think you need nearly that much. 0.3 milliliters, I would say, is more than enough. Again, you're going to want to speak with your medical practitioner about that. But a lot of the times, people will comment on videos thinking that I'm suggesting that you need tons and tons of different ingredients or tons of herbs, tons of spices, when really that's not the case. If you're taking it consistently, all right, that's going to add up over time, all right, and that's going to provide benefits for you. All right, so let me just keep writing them in here. All right, so you guys probably know oregano, so I'll write that in there, but again, you guys probably know the spelling of that. So we have oregano, and then the last one, guys, all right, would be anise. And anise, it's available as both a seed and essential oil. This is the one where you don't need a lot of, all right? So anise, let me put that in there, all right? Anise is going to be another good one, all right? So anise, again, you can take it as an oil. You can take it as a herb, loose leaf tea. All right, those are going to be good ones for you guys. Now, let's get into some of the other herbs. All right, so these ones are going to be nice because, one, they have decongestant properties and also antibacterial properties, all right, which can help with congestive issues. So mucus buildup, all right, problems with the lungs, cold, flu symptoms, wheezing, things of that nature. I really like these next two. All right, so make sure maybe if you want to write these down, if you want me to write them in chat, then we can do that. All right, but these two are going to be fairly popular, guys. All right, the first one, all right, that I would suggest is cardamom. All right, so the other herb would be cardamom. All right, and again, I've done tons of videos on cardamom seeds, on cardamom tea. All right, I think that would be an excellent one for relieving respiratory and congestive symptoms. All right, let me write that in chat. Cardamom. All right, guys, so that's your next one. Now, why cardamom? All right, well, for cardamom, one, like I said, decongestant properties. All right, it's a nice decongestant. All right, and so when we have that, it gives additional benefits in helping you deal with congestive issues and respiratory issues. All right, some respiratory illnesses. All right, the other nice thing about cardamom, not only is it a decongestant, but it also has tremendous antibacterial properties. And for trying to fight, chest issues, so chest congestion or respiratory issues, those antibacterial properties become really, really important. All right, it's going to help fight infections and bad bacteria that's actually going to be involved in making it worse. All right, making congestive issues worse for you. So cardamom is a great one, guys. All right. Again, speak with your medical practitioner, just because I don't want to speak on if someone's, pregnant and things of that nature. Those are probably the big ones, guys. All right, pregnant and things like that. All right, make sure that it's safe for you. But cardamom is great, guys. Decongestive properties and also antibacterial properties. And the nice thing is you can have it as a tea. All right. You can crush the seeds. Some people will even put it into smoothies. Some people I even know put it into their oatmeal, believe it or not. I haven't done that. I haven't tried that yet. But if you can kind of grind it up almost like a flaxseed and throw it into your oatmeal, you can get away with that just a little bit. I would throw maybe some berries in there to try to hide the taste just a little bit. But cardamom is going to be great, guys. Like I said, antibacterial properties, so help fighting infections that are involved in respiratory issues and congestion, but also a natural decongestant. All right, so very, very nice. The other one, guys, is going to be cayenne pepper. All right, cayenne pepper. And I've done tons of videos on cayenne pepper and the benefits of that, especially having to do with respiratory benefits. All right, so it's kind of nice we're coming almost full circle with this one. So cayenne pepper, all right, is going to be great for dealing with respiratory illnesses, respiratory symptoms, unwanted respiratory symptoms, also congestion. All right, so with cayenne pepper, all right, what it's referred to is a counter irritant. All right, so a counter irritant, you can probably figure it out. All right, it's relieving irritation within the chest and within the lungs. All right, so that's a nice one as well, guys. All right, counter irritation, very nice. So what that means, all right, is what it's going to do is it's going to help to get rid, all right, of sort of the mucus increasing within the lungs, or even the increasing mucus production. So when we talk about that, with cayenne pepper, what tends to happen is that mucus is more easily drained from the lungs. All right, and for dealing with congestive issues or respiratory issues, then there's probably going to be more mucus than we need, all right, or want. All right, and that's what the problem is going to be. Okay, so cayenne pepper, counter irritant. All right, it's going to help, all right, release some of that mucus, all right, and help it to drain a little bit easier, so you're not dealing with those symptoms. Because if we are, that's when we can really run into problems, all right, especially respiratory illnesses and congestive illnesses. All right, sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with chat. Thank you so much for the 15 thumbs up, guys. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys are finding this discussion helpful. Now, with cardamom, all right, again, it's available, one, as, with the herb as a spice, with the seeds, and as an oil, okay? All of those can be used, and they're going to help with congestion. So it really doesn't matter which way you're taking it. You can have it, grounded up. You can have it as a seed, like I was talking about, adding the seeds into your smoothies or into your oatmeal, or you can have it as an oil. Just make sure you're not overdoing it, guys. That's why I want you to speak with either a naturopath, some sort of medical practitioner, so you can make sure you're getting the right dosage. Excuse me, guys, just as I'm just having my morning coffee here. It's still early. I love these morning streams. I have to say, I hope you guys do too. I definitely like these morning streams. That's why I'll have my morning coffee here. Now, again, with cayenne pepper, you can just have regular raw pepper. All right, it can be raw or it can be cooked. Very easy to get, but you can also get it as a powder. All right, and a lot of people who do have it as a powder will have it as a tea. All right. Again, the dosing would sort of depend on your own personal preference. I don't think you really need much more than a teaspoon, to be honest with you. And again, a lot of the times people will think that I'm suggesting multiple tablespoons of cayenne pepper, where that's just not the case. All right, that amount is just, I would say, is overdoing it. The benefits are just out. Once you get to that amount, you're just overdoing it. The benefits are negligible. All right, so a teaspoon can go a very, very long way. What's the benefits of apples? Ooh, lots of benefits. Which apple is best? All right, Letitia, taking a little bit of a turn here. I'm guessing that you're an apple fan. I'm sure there's other apple fans. I don't think you can go wrong with any apple, to be honest, unless you're on a keto diet. Which one's best? I would just say eat any apple. All right, but the benefits, there's tons of benefits. One, all right, antioxidants, especially if you have it with the skin on. I would have the skin on. I wouldn't peel the apple. All right, two, it's going to be tons of fiber. All right, and it's a slower digesting protein. All right, so you got antioxidants, a little bit of anti-inflammatory compounds in there, not a ton, more antioxidants. All right. You'll also have good fiber levels. That's why I always say, guys, my two favorite fruits, or three, let's say three, would be blueberries, pears, and apples, just because of their fiber content. All right. And then three or four, all right, is it's high in micronutrients. All right. So you're getting your vitamins, your minerals, all right, things of that nature. So when it comes to apples, is there a best one? Not really. It's just sort of the ones that you prefer. All right. It could be green apples, can be Macintosh apples. All of them are going to be good for you. Eat your apples. I think if it came down to it's funny, if it's an apple or a chocolate bar, of course you're going to go with the apple. All right. So I hope that helps. Tons of benefits. Micronutrients, fiber, going to help keep you satiated. That's why a lot of people will say it can help with weight loss. All right. Don't overdo it with apples because, again, all right, there's fructose, even though there is some fiber in there. Excuse me, guys. All right. You don't need to overdo it with apples, but like one apple a day. All right. I think you're doing just fine, but tons of benefits. I hope that helps there, Letitia. But yes, eat your apples, guys. Okay, so we got cardamom, cayenne pepper. All right, maybe I'll write cayenne pepper there for people who are watching a little bit later. All right, so cayenne pepper, guys, another great one. And cayenne pepper can even help boost metabolism a little bit as well. That's why sometimes you get people sweating just a little bit. All right, last one here, guys, and then we'll go over to a couple other ones. I want to talk a little bit about COPD and maybe some other ones that you maybe haven't heard so much about. But I think another one, guys, is going to be fennel. Fennel seed is great for is going to be great for relieving respiratory illness and congestion. All right, so fennel is another great one, guys. I think I just did a fennel video not too long ago. You can have a fennel tea. Very often I end up drinking a fennel tea almost daily. And again, it's going to be very, very helpful for respiratory and for congestion. I would try to have it raw, to be honest, if you can. But, teas are fine as well. And we know that, even though you might want to be cautious, most people can deal well with fennel seed. Again, you don't need a ton. I think teas are a good way. We already know that it's going to be, the dosage is going to be very good. All right. And again, we also know that if you are having that, with studies that are being shown, we can see that it can help with both congestion and respiratory illnesses. All right. And that can, be a bunch of different things. Some of the studies showed things like bronchitis. Some of the other ones showed things like sinusitis, things of that nature. So fennel can be a very, very potent one, guys. And again, fennel can be taken as that seed, which we talked about. All right, an oil. I would keep the daily dosage if you're having seeds, no more than, I would go 5 grams, no more than that. Same thing with the oil if you're having fennel seed oil, no more than half a milliliter. Keep it low, guys. Again, you do not have to. And again, take this with a grain of salt. I'm not saying this as a medical practitioner. Speak with your medical practitioner. But from the studies that I've read, you don't want to go over that amount. Things like 2 milliliters or 3 milliliters. Some people will even, super dose into 5 milliliters. Just not needed, and I wouldn't even recommend that. So fennel is another good one there, guys. Okay, now let's talk about some of the ones that maybe you haven't heard so much about. All right. One that I really like, and if there's any questions, please bring them up in chat, guys. All right. With respiratory illnesses and congestion are so popular and so much in the news right now, I'd be very surprised if we didn't hear, if you guys didn't have any questions just related to it. There's so many good things that we can do for our respiratory system. Maybe before we get into some other herbs and spices, because we've already listed off, I think maybe about 8 or 9, if we want to, improve the respiratory system, reduce congestive related symptoms, then again, there's other things, lifestyle. All right, lifestyle is going to be a huge one, guys. Getting daily exercise, that can be going for a walk, things like that. All right, if you're going out for a walk, getting those lungs up and moving. All right, I always talk about lifestyle changes, guys. It always goes hand in hand. If we want to improve our overall health, then we're going to want to be moving a little bit as well. So, not only is diet important, but also moving around, getting that 150 minutes of exercise per week. I think that can go a long way in also improving and relieving respiratory and congestive issues as well. So just keep that in mind, guys, okay? So let's talk about some other ones, all right? Now, I want to talk a little bit more about respiratory system, all right? And, the lungs, the reason why we need to talk a little bit about the lungs and the respiratory system, the lungs are constantly working. Right now, I'm talking to you guys are listening to this live chat. Our lungs are working right now. We're taking a breath. We're consistently breathing. I think when I speak with clients, we're taking about 10,000 breaths a day. That adds up, all right? So we want to make sure that our lungs are nice and healthy, all right? They're constantly working. It's like our heart. That's why I talked so much last time about making sure that our heart is healthy, because our heart is constantly working, all right? So it's the exact same thing with the lungs. Yeah, yoga, Morgan, absolutely. Yoga is 100% fine, all right? Getting out and moving, all right? Yoga is a great one. Again, it doesn't have to be super strenuous, even though yoga can be strenuous, all right, but it doesn't have to be going out for a run or going to the gym and lifting heavy weights or things of that nature, all right? Just getting out and moving, yoga is a great one. Oh, Lynn, yes, you're getting ahead of me, Lynn. Absolutely. Astragalus for sure. All right. And we'll definitely get to that. You're absolutely right. All right. That's going to be one of the next ones here. Right as we're getting into respiratory system, that's going to be one of the big ones here that we're going to be talking about. So thank you, Lynn, for pointing that out. And thank you so much, guys, for the 19 thumbs up. I really appreciate that. We're almost at our 20 here. So thank you so much. But those lifestyle changes, guys, we do not want to be living a sedentary lifestyle. Our lungs are made to be used, all right? We need to get some of that exercise, all right? If we're getting that exercise 150 minutes at least per week, then we're doing a good job of supplementing these herbs and spices and getting the most relief from those symptoms. All right, guys? So again, I just want to reiterate, very, very important that we're actually getting that exercise and making lifestyle changes as well. So thank you for pointing that out, guys. Yoga, again, I would recommend that. Going for walks, for hikes, swimming, things of that nature. I think you can't go wrong. Even at home. At home, you can do a number of different things. Okay, so again, very, very important to keep our lungs healthy. Like we said, we take something like 10,000 breaths a day, and we do it without even knowing it. So having a proper functioning respiratory system, incredibly important, not only for our lungs, but also for good health. All right. So we need to make sure that our lungs are in good health. That way that we're in good overall health ourselves. All right. So if we want to improve our overall health, lung health has to be a major, we have to make sure that we're taking consideration of overall lung health. It's one of the more vital organs, as you guys probably know, and as we just mentioned. All right. And again, the thing with our lungs as well, with more and more air pollution out there, with more and more, there's so many things that are going to be affecting our lungs in negative ways. All right. It can be air pollution. It can be different types of viruses and bacteria. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. If you've paid any attention in the last year and a half, different viruses and bacteria. We need to make sure that the lungs are healthy. All right. Now, this isn't a discussion based on that, but we do know that there are viruses and bacteria that can weaken the lungs and the respiratory system and things of that nature. All right. And also lead to illness and lung damage. So we want to take a proactive approach to strengthening the lungs. Exercise bike is great too, Morgan. Absolutely. Biking. Just be careful if you're biking outside. I know a few people who've run into some issues. But yeah, if you have like a stationary bike or an incumbent bike or recumbent bike, then yeah, absolutely. Great exercise. Very good for the knees too. Good for the joints. It's not high impact. All right. So that, again, that's why the lungs are so important, guys. All right. So many things that can damage them. All right. Threats in the air and things of that nature. And smoking. There's a lot of people who are smoking. I think someone had mentioned that they're out west, even with wildfires and things of that nature. All right. Breathing in the smoke from out there. So a bunch of different things that are going to be, almost like a threat to our lung health. All right. Now, it was already mentioned. So let's talk a little bit about Astragalus. All right. Astragalus. All right, who mentioned that there? All right, Lynn mentioned this. So Astragalus can be very, very good for our respiratory system. And again, with any herbs and spices, guys, always speak with your medical practitioner. I can't say that enough. All right, so the nice thing about the herb Astragalus, all right, one, powerful proactive, all right, measures to help fight off respiratory illnesses. One of them being flu, okay? One being flu, the other one can be cold. The other ones can be mucus buildup within the lungs. All right. Now, why is it so important and why is it such a powerful proactive herb that we can take? Well, one, it's absolutely loaded with antioxidants. All right. Tremendous antioxidants in Astragalus. And again, you do not have to take it in large amounts. A little bit goes a long way. So super powerful antioxidants in Astragalus, all right, which again is going to be boosting our immune system. So helping fight off, mucus buildup in the lungs, congestive related issues, improving respiratory health, all right. One of the main things is fighting off colds and flus. All right. Now, someone had brought up asthma. I forget who that was. Again, you want to speak with your medical practitioner, but there has been research that Astragalus can actually help treat or even benefit people with asthma. Okay. Now, would that be the only thing I would take for asthma? Absolutely not. But there has been studies that shows that it can be effective treatment with other treatments as well for people with asthma. So I forget who brought that up. It might have been Marcia, maybe. Sorry, I can't remember exactly who it is. But yeah, so for asthma, it can be definitely beneficial for that one. Never heard of that one. Yeah, Morgan, it's a little less popular than things like the other ones that we started out with, like your thyme, like your anise, your oregano, your cardamom, your cayenne pepper, things like that. But again, a very, very healthy one for overall respiratory health. And Morgan, was it you for asthma? Yes, COPD and asthma. Okay, thanks, Morgan. So there you go. All right. Again, I wouldn't use that as your only way of treating asthma, but again, like I said, it can be effective at treating asthma type symptoms. All right, now another one, all right, that's going to be helpful. All right, and again, probably more of one that you guys have heard before. All right, is going to be peppermint. All right, peppermint, all right, is actually very, very powerful when it comes to supporting the respiratory system health. All right, and one is because it has powerful and potent natural antihistamine properties in it. All right, so a lot of the times with peppermint, some people will have peppermint tea. All right, that's a nice one. Some people will have it a bunch of different ways. A lot of people will have it sort of in that almost in that vaporizer that I was talking about, like the mist when you get like the lavender and things of that nature. So peppermint very good for the respiratory system, can help clean out pathogens, toxins, help drain mucus a little bit, all right, due to its powerful antihistamine effects, all right? And again, that's only going to help with supporting the overall health of the respiratory system, all right? The nice thing about peppermint is it can prevent, all right, allergens, one, from causing inflammation in the respiratory tract. Again, if we're getting rid of those sort of allergens or pathogens, unwanted foreign bodies that are in there, we can call them anything that we want, all right? At the end of the day, they're creating inflammation within the respiratory tract that's only going to lead to negative effects, all right, and different symptoms that we don't want, affecting our respiratory health, all right? And it can lead to complications going down the road, also can lead to increase in congestion, all right, chest congestion, all right? So again, tremendous anti-inflammatory, great, powerful antihistamine effects, all right? It can help get rid of allergens, pathogens, things of that nature, clear out the lungs, all right, and help us intake that oxygen that we need, all right, to survive. Vital, remember, the lungs are a vital organ. Yeah, exactly. Peppermint can control cough. And the reason why peppermint can control cough is because it helps clear out that mucus, all right? So, and it's getting rid of things like those pathogens that we talked about, and its antihistamine effects. Okay, so because it's getting rid of those it has the antihistamine effects, it can help control cough and with allergens as well, all right, and pathogens. So I would go, peppermint, guys. Again, a lot of people will really, really enjoy peppermint and enjoy the taste of it or the smell of it. You can do it with peppermint oil. I think that's a popular one. And again, they'll put it in a vaporizer and get that mist. All right, clear out the lungs that way. A lot of times they'll do that with eucalyptus and also lavender. So I think that's a nice one as well. Thank you for the 21 thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate that. Okay, so let's go on to our next one here. All right, so the next one here, guys, and I'm not sure maybe if you guys have heard this one before, but it's called Lungwort. So I'm going to write that down, kind of amply named Lungwort, right? So again, that's going to be a very, very potent herb for increasing overall lung health and respiratory health, all right? And again, another long used herb when it comes to its medicinal properties with respiratory system, with chest congestion and everything like that, all right? So the reason why lungwort is so important and so healthy for our lungs is, again, super, super rich in antioxidants that support overall health and boost respiratory function. And I think that's the main takeaway from that, guys. When we're boosting our respiratory function, that gives us a better chance to clear out the mucus, to clear out pathogens, to reduce infections. So those super, super potent antioxidants, very, very healthy for respiratory system and reducing chest congestion. All right. And like I said, it's been used for, I'd say, hundreds of years, generations and generations as a lung remedy, and it's still used today. All right. And you can ground it up into a powder, add a little bit into your smoothie. Again, you don't have to add a lot. Again, I would speak with your medical practitioner, make sure this herb's right for you, or you can have it as a tea. You can supplement it using a tea. Oh, Altoid mints are great. Yes, Altoid mints. Well, Altoid mints, yeah, especially for so Altoid mints, I believe those are almost like a decongestant and things of that nature. Hank, I think you've had your minute here, buddy. We get it. And Kyle, I'm not sure if you're in the same thing, but you haven't said anything funny at this point, and you made your point clear. So you can keep going, but I'll just end up kicking you out. But like I said, I don't think anyone's found it funny, and no one's even reacted to what you're saying. So thank you. I appreciate you coming in here. But if you're going to make comments like that, again, we're just going to ignore it. And that's the last I'm going to be bringing it up. So maybe you got what you wanted. Okay, so we got Lungwort. Another great one. All right, Lungwort. And then I'll put it into the chat there. All right, so Lungwort is a great one there, guys. Another important one, guys, is also going to be, it can be pronounced a number of different ways. Osa root is one of the ways I've heard it. I've also heard Osha root. All right, just let me make sure that I type it into chat. All right, so we have, I'm going to call it Osha root because that's what I've heard it called the most. So Osa root, the one thing about that is, again, very powerful herb, all right, used for centuries. It's almost used as a cure-all, all right, for the respiratory system. So it can do a number of great things for our overall respiratory tract, but also for decreasing congestive issues, all right. And again, I would look this up and I would make sure that it's right for you guys, all right, especially with any type of roots, all right. Roots are going to be the ones that you're going to want to pay the most attention to and make sure that you speak to a medical practitioner. But the root of the plant, all right, and that's why I'm speaking specifically to the root. One, it's used very, very commonly to help cure coughs and colds, all right. It has a very wide range of, dealing with lung-related conditions, but it seems like coughs and colds, that's what I've written down here, are two of the more popular ones, all right, are two of the more popular ones that are being used for. So again, the nice thing about Osha root too, we know that it's kind of has a lot of good abilities to help, like I said, almost like a cure-all for the respiratory system. But not only that, but it can also help relieve congestion, all right, and chest congestion, which is great. And the one way that it can do that is increasing blood flow to the lungs. So something that we haven't even really mentioned yet, all right, but it can also increase blood flow to the lungs. And then that again is just going to help get rid of that mucus. It's going to help get rid of pathogens, and it's going to be able to help us increase our overall health when it comes to the respiratory system and also congestion. Good. And again, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. I think even when you're dealing with respiratory symptoms, congestion symptoms, things of that nature. Yes, we're talking about herbs and spices, but I think getting things like antioxidants, fresh fruits and vegetables, things of that nature, making sure you're getting in good micronutrients, I think that's just as important as getting in some of these herbs and spices. These herbs and spices are a very nice way to deal directly with respiratory illness, with congestion, but also making sure that you're getting those fresh fruits and vegetables and eating a healthy diet. And I think that's a great way to increase your overall heart health, your lung health. So again, guys, feel free to ask some of your questions here. We have a couple more. Maybe for some of the people who talked about COPD, all right, I'll just throw a couple of those out here because we see COPD being more and more common, especially among smokers and people who are dealing with air pollution and things of that nature. I'll throw two out here, maybe even three. All right, one, herb supplementation, and again, we see this in numerous studies, but you're also going to want to speak with your medical practitioner as well, because I would not use this as a be-all, end-all for dealing with COPD. COPD is a very, very it's something that we really want to take serious. It's a serious medical condition, all right? So we want to make sure that we're taking the steps needed, all right, so that we can keep ourselves healthy and not just rely just on these herbs and spices. So the first one, guys, is going to be curcumin. All right, a powerful antioxidant that's found in turmeric. So another spice, guys. Let me write that down in chat for you guys. So curcumin is going to be a good one. And again, the standalone with curcumin, again, it can definitely help, but I would definitely use it to in addition to other types of medicines and other types of preventative care and treatments. So the nice thing, I think turmeric is one of the most commonly used spices. It's used in a ton of different recipes like curries. It's added into teas. It's added into smoothies, things of that nature. It's very, very popular, used all around the world, especially now in the western part of the world. Incredibly popular. Now, with turmeric, all right, turmeric, yes, healthy, great for reducing inflammation. That's going to help with our respiratory illness, with congestion. But the main part of turmeric that's so helpful, all right, is actually the curcumin that's found in it. And the curcumin is a super powerful antioxidant that's going to reduce oxidative stress, all right, and block inflammation at the molecular level, as research has shown. All right, so curcumin, all right, within turmeric is what's going to be the most helpful when it comes to dealing with respiratory and congestion symptoms. All right, so curcumin is a great one, guys, and it's widely available. That's why I'm pointing it out to you. All right, the other nice thing about curcumin, all right, and this doesn't have to be with COPD, guys. This can be with any respiratory illness or with chest congestion or anything like that. All right, we've seen in numerous studies that curcumin, because it's such a powerful antioxidant, it has significant antiviral effects, all right, which is great because if we're dealing with illness, infections like cold and flu, all right, within the respiratory tract or even other ones, all right, one, it's going to have those great antiviral abilities and properties, and also anti-inflammatories, all right, in addition to the antioxidant effects. So when you have those anti-inflammatories and antioxidant effects, one, it's going to help get rid of those pathogens, all right, and it's going to help improve overall lung function, which is very, very important. So curcumin, guys, tremendous for our overall, especially with the lungs and with respiratory illness. All right, again, it can be used for COPD due to its ability to fight oxidative stress and blocking inflammation, but so many other things, blocking inflammation at the molecular level, that is, but so many other things that can help benefit overall lung health. All right, Paul, thing I can put in a bath or oil in the bedroom before bed. Well, you could put lavender or eucalyptus, Morgan. I think those are two good ones. You can put lavender, you can put eucalyptus. I know some of the other ones that are popular are sort of like your thyme or oregano is a nice one, but eucalyptus, lavender, I think you can't go wrong with those ones. Quercetin, stinging nettle. Yes, we talked. That's right, Paulette. We talked a little bit about stinging nettle already. And quercetin, all right, is a nice one. For those who don't know what quercetin is, it's a very potent and unique antioxidant. Again, going to be boosting your immune system. So quercetin is nice, boosting the immune system and helping with respiratory illness, relieving chest congestion. So quercetin is a nice one. A lot of the times you can see it supplement. If you're taking a vitamin C supplement, especially in liquid form, then a lot of the times you'll see quercetin added in it. So thank you for adding that, Paulette. I appreciate that. So yeah, stinging nettle, definitely, we talked about that one, but you're absolutely right. Good. Let me just catch up on some of the comments here, guys. And thank you so much for the thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. Good. Okay. It's garlic. Okay, garlic helpful with the lungs. Yes, actually, it is, Letitia. It is actually helpful with the lungs. Now, the reason why, and this is a great question, this is why I like the engagement, guys. All right, so because garlic, one, it has sulfur compounds, but what's the real benefit of garlic is it contains a compound known as allicin. And I've talked about that in a number of different videos and a number of different streams. So its main bioactive compound is known as allicin. All right, Allicin, I believe. All right, allicin. All right, and so what allicin is, it's a powerful antibiotic. All right, and it has medicinal properties. And so what allicin can do is it can, one, help treat respiratory infections. All right, and that's why a lot of people will actually supplement with garlic when they're sick. You guys maybe have heard that. People who have colds and flus will take things like garlic supplements. Maybe they'll take it as a pill. Maybe they'll take it as a tea. Maybe they'll just eat it raw. I know a lot of people do that. If they have a cold or flu, they'll put it, they'll just kind of eat it raw. Maybe they'll have it with honey. It'll be like chopped up garlic and then a spoon of raw organic honey. Some people, and you've even seen videos on this, I might have even made one maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, will they'll actually sleep with garlic underneath their pillow, believe it or not. I would much rather, though, you have like the garlic or the supplementation garlic powder, or having the chopping the garlic up and having the spoon of garlic, maybe with a little bit of honey for taste. But it's actually going to be a powerful antibiotic, help reduce respiratory infections, and also help declog the lungs. All right, and that's important because when the lungs are sort of clogged up, and when we're talking about clogged, it's usually from mucus. All right, and that's going to lead to more and more congestion. All right, so garlic is actually great. All right, one of the better herbs that we can actually add for overall heart. So we just did a heart one, so I keep saying heart, but also for your respiratory system and for congestion. The other nice thing is it can reduce inflammation. So yes, it can help improve asthma. Again, I don't always like relying on herbs and spices to deal with asthma, so maybe we'll leave that one alone, but it can definitely reduce inflammation. All right, so I hope that helps with garlic, Letitia. Fresh garlic is best. Well, yeah, it just depends. And that's why I sort of pointed out. You can chop it and then have it with like a spoon of honey. I think that's an important one. The honey's a nice one as well. It can help reduce cough. There's nothing wrong with garlic tea though as well, or garlic supplementation. A lot of people aren't a huge fan of garlic. As long as you're getting that in, then you're doing a good job of helping to relieve respiratory and congestive symptoms. But yes, fresh is always better. But in this case, if you're getting garlic tea or even garlic supplements, then again, you're doing yourself a favor. My Belgian grandmother used to put garlic and tie it around our neck. Exactly. There you go. So that's exactly right. So a lot of it has to do with the sulfur compounds, guys. So you would put it under your pillow, or you would tie it around the neck, so that it's connected to you there. And a lot of it would have to do with the sulfur compounds. The only thing is to get those sulfur compounds, and especially the allicin. Not that this is wrong. This was kind of back in the day, but you would want to actually chop it up, have it cut up. That's going to help release the allicin and those sulfur compounds a little bit. All right, great, Letitia. I'm glad that helped. That's why keep asking your questions, guys. I love it. And tell me how I can reduce bilirubin level in the body. I'm not sure I've ever heard of that. Breakdown of red blood cells. That's probably going to be something that you want to speak with your medical practitioner about. I apologize that I can't speak on that too much, Poojan, just because that's more of a medical condition. I believe what that is, would it be like a breakdown of red blood cells in the body? Maybe affecting things like, different types of organs. Maybe your liver. You probably know better than me. But that's something. Sorry, I can't go into that. I'd never usually like going right into medical advice, especially something of that nature. Like, you'll never hear me talk about cancer. You'll never hardly hear me talk about other sort of chronic diseases and things of that nature. So I apologize that I can't speak directly on that, but I would definitely speak with your medical practitioner, because that sounds like a one that they would probably know a little bit better than I will, just because I haven't really done any research whatsoever on that typical or on that type of disease. So I apologize for that. But definitely speak with your medical practitioner. Okay, so we're doing a good job, guys. We're getting through a lot of these herbs and spices. Another one that's going to be helpful, and I'll write it in there, is going to be black seed oil, guys. Black seed oil can help. Yellow Pujin, yes, absolutely. I have heard of that. Yellowish in color, absolutely. So I do remember reading on that. I get rid of jaundice, but the brilliant yellow color stays. Yes. Hey, my pleasure. No problem. That's why I'm here, to pay attention and to answer your guys' questions. But yes, I do sort of remember it's kind of having that yellowish color. So definitely speak with your medical practitioner with that, Pujin, and I hope you can get that cleared up and you're feeling much better. Okay, so guys, the next one I would put there. All right, we've had a lot. I don't want to overstimulate and overdo it for you guys, but I think black seed oil would be another one that I would add, just because again, generations and generations of medicinal use when it comes to black seed oil, in a way to support the lungs. All right, so support overall lung health and lung function. All right, but then also, all right, in order to, well, sometimes it can help with sinuses as well. I want to stay away from sinuses. It can be with congestion, but we're sticking with respiratory and chest congestion. But it can help with sinuses, but also help improve respiratory health overall. All right, and we see that in studies. All right, the health benefits of black seed oil can improve overall respiratory health. Okay. So one of the reasons is, and I would go maybe use cold pressed black seed oil. All right, that's going to help preserve some of the natural chemicals that are going to help really deal with and help promote, help support lung health and overall respiratory health. I think that's a great one. Again, you're going to get anti-inflammatories found in there. All right, I think that's great. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Marcia. I think it was with organs. I think it affects the liver. Absolutely right. So we had already mentioned that. But yeah, you're 100% right, Marcia. I believe that it is the liver. And I think it can potentially have something to do with bile production, if I'm not mistaken. But thank you for pointing that out, Marcia. So that's another good one there, guys. And again, I think if we're gonna do one more here, all right, and then don't worry, we're gonna speak to a couple other ones here as well, all right. But one other one, guys, which can really help, all right, and it's fairly popular, so that's why I want to make sure that that I point this one out, is oil of oregano. All right, so we talked a little bit about oregano already, but oil of oregano is definitely going to help with respiratory issues and congestive issues. Okay, so I'll just type that one in there as well for you, oil of oregano. Okay, guys, so again, that's going to be another important one that you might want to be using. Again, speak with your medical practitioner, guys, just because the traditional uses, I know it's been around for generations, maybe even centuries, but everyone is different when it comes to herbs and spices, just the way that we deal with them. Some people It just does not sit well with them. Other people, it's just fine. I don't want to put it out there and just, say, go ahead and take this at this dosage. For one, get the correct dosage from your medical practitioner, because the dosages change from person to person, depends on your height, size, your tolerance level, things of that nature. But a good one can be oil of oregano if it's right for you. All right. One, it can support a healthy immune system, so it can help with the lungs. Well, oh, my pleasure, Marcia. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you. So for the oil of oregano, guys, all right, the nice thing with oil of oregano, one, it's going to naturally boost the immune system, okay? And why that is important, one, because we know things like cold and flus, all right, if they're in the lungs and we're dealing with respiratory issues, with cough, if we're dealing with congestion, all right, so mucus, we want a healthy immune system so that we can help fight that off, all right, so that we can help get rid of that mucus buildup, of the congestion, respiratory illnesses, all right. Now, we also know that oil of oregano contains volatile oils, which is very nice, all right. The volatile oils, all right, are going to be very helpful to get rid of unwanted substances, so pathogens, sometimes they'll be called like harmful foreign substances, all right, things that are going to do damage, all right, to the respiratory tract, all right, and to the lungs, things of that nature, all right. So if we have those pathogens, if we have infections, if we have bacteria, all right, and we see in studies, all right, and it makes total sense, all right, that can help lead to respiratory issues, all right. So oil of oregano is going to help deal with that and decrease, all right, those respiratory issues, all right, which is very nice. And thank you so much, guys, for the thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. We're at 27, we're almost at 30. You guys are crushing it today, and thank you so much for the support. If you're finding it, hopefully you're finding the discussion helpful. I'm very much enjoying the discussion here, guys, so thank you very much for joining me today. Now, the other thing is with oil of oregano, one, all right, it has natural decongestants and again, antihistamines, which is very important for the respiratory system and for decreasing congestion, all right? So again, we talked a little bit about natural decongestants and then antihistamines. We see this in oil of oregano as well. And again, that can be contributed to, one, oil of oregano contains a compound called carvacrol, all right, and it also contains another compound known as rosmarinic acid, all right, and those are the two compounds that are believed to have natural decongestant and natural antihistamine properties, all right. So those are very important, all right, those decongestants and also those antihistamines, because what those do, all right, when we take those compounds, all right, can help to maintain healthy lung function. And if we're maintaining healthy lung function, guys, then, all right, we can deal with some of those infections. We can deal with some of that mucus buildup, bad bacteria, different types of diseases, colds and flus. That's why we want to maintain healthy lung function. All right, so carvacrol, rosmarinic acid, very nice natural decongestants and antihistamines. That's why I really wanted to point out oil of oregano for you guys. And it's easy to find. All right, and again, get the correct dosage, because the dosage, it does not have to be a lot, and it can be different for everyone. Paulette, thank you, very informative. Well, thank you, Paulette. I really appreciate that. I'm glad that you're enjoying the information. Again, I'm really enjoying the discussion as well. I'm not even really quite sure how long we've been going for. I know it's been over an hour for sure. It might be an hour and 15, but we're just continuing to rock on here. I think one of the major things, I think if we want to relieve respiratory and congestion symptoms, I think if we're smoking as well, so we talked a little bit about lifestyle changes, not living a sedentary lifestyle, trying to get that 150 minutes of exercise, or as I like to call it, movement a week. All right, I think if we're doing that, that's going to be a plus. But also, if we're smoking, a lot of the times, guys, and this is just the honest truth, and I know it's tough to hear, but if we're smoking, we can add all these herbs and spices that we want. We can get the exercise, but if we're chronic smokers and we're, a pack a day, whatever it is, I don't smoke, so I'm not even really quite sure what it is anymore. A pack a day, pack and a half, maybe less, who knows? But if we're smoking, all right, or even it can be anything like chewing tobacco and things of that nature. You can add all these herbs and spices, but they're not going to be doing you very much benefit at all. All right. And that's not a judgmental thing. All right. Again, that's just kind of the facts that are out there right now, guys. Same thing if we're dealing with obesity. All right. Obesity, we can add all the herbs and spices, but we see through studies, numerous studies, that if we're dealing with obesity or if we're overweight, that's only going to complicate, our lung health, respiratory disease, congestion, things of that nature. All right. You see it with things like pneumonia, that type of stuff, guys. So that's not meant to scare you. That's just, I want to put out some of the facts out there, and just making sure that we're keeping that in mind. Okay, guys. So just keep that in mind. Try to live, again, that's why I point out, it's not just about herbs and spices. It's about having a healthy diet, and it's about having a nice, healthy, active lifestyle as well. I think if you're doing that and adding these herbs and spices, I think you're getting the best of all three worlds. Active lifestyle, healthy diet, and then these nice herbs and spices to relieve respiratory and congestion symptoms. I got secondhand smoke, and that's why. Yes, it's very common, Letitia, secondhand smoke. I mean, I got secondhand smoke for a long time. Like I said, I was never a smoker, but for a long time in my life, I was getting secondhand smoke as well, and I think that's why, this is a big topic for me as well. And now, over the last number of years, 10 plus years, I've been staying away from any secondhand smoke. And I'm pretty adamant about that. I don't enjoy people smoking around me, and it's not even necessarily what I'll get them to move. I'll gladly move. I'll gladly move away, just so I'm not getting that in. But yes, you're not alone with that. I think that's something common for a lot of people. But yeah, secondhand smoke, you're getting those irritants. It can only negatively affect the respiratory and congestive symptoms, overall lung health. I'm the third generation in my family with COPD and asthma. I'm sorry to hear that, Marian. I am new to this. I've been looking for natural preparations. This has been both illuminating and a way forward. Thank you so very much. Well, my pleasure, Morgan. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. And I know how hard it can be. Like I said, I had family members with COPD. I know people with COPD and definitely with asthma, absolutely with asthma. So I know how hard that can be. So, great job, coming in here. Hopefully, like you said, I'm glad that it was illuminating for you, and hopefully you learned something and can take some things away and continue to improve your overall respiratory system and, decrease congestion within the lungs. So my pleasure, and thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for the kind words, guys. But yeah, it's a big thing out there. There's just so many things that are adding up when it comes to our overall health, year in, year out. It can be heart disease. It can be obesity. It can be lung health, things of that nature. It can be the foods that we're eating. So many different things. It can be sedentary lifestyle. More and more of us now are working desk jobs, more so than ever. More so we're living a sedentary life. We're kind of confined to our desk or to a desk for 8 hours a day, even more. And then sometimes we're tired, and then we will go home and sit on the couch, which again is totally normal. It's going to be a normal thing if you're tired. A lot of people, once you're working, so you have to get up for work, you're going to be pretty tired. It's hard to get out and get that exercise in there. It's going to be tired to get that exercise after you've been working all day. Have you heard of borax? Letitia. Borax. I believe that I haven't, and if I'm not mistaken, I do not believe that borax. I don't even know if I've seen it in Canada. Um, is it sodium borate? Maybe. I know I've heard of it before. Sodium borate, maybe. I do not know a ton about it. I will say that. In Canada, maybe I've heard of it as like boric acid, something along those lines. I've definitely heard of it. I just don't know a ton about it, Letitia. If anything I said there it sounds remotely correct, then it was just in the back of my head that I kind of pulled out from I don't even know where. I know in Canada we don't always sell those types of things. It might be out here. Like boric acid is coming to mind. But no, I don't know much about it. Sorry. But helps with joint pain. You know, and with joint pain and everything like that, if other people are dealing with joint pain, some of the best things for joint pain that I would say, guys, and this can be, I think, might be another topic for a live stream, because so many people are dealing with joint pain these days. Some of your, that's what I kind of thought. I had thought of it as like borax, so like boric acid. But I could be wrong. Again, I'm not sure. Maybe I should look it up. Maybe give it like a quick search. Let me give it a quick search here, guys, because now I'm kind of interested. Yeah, it's a household cleaner. Widely used as a household cleaner and a booster for laundry detergent. Yeah, sodium borate. Yeah, I don't know if I would be using it for has minerals. I don't know if I would be using it for joint pain. Letitia, I'd be very, very careful with that. Again, I would speak with your medical practitioner, but it seems like it might be a little bit of a irritant. Just be very, very careful with that, because it says that it's a detergent. So we already know that it's probably going to be an irritant for the eyes and probably for the skin. If you're going to want to deal with joint pain, I would go with like a fish oil. So your omega-3s, I would go with antioxidants. Blueberries are very good. Even your dark leafy green vegetables, I would much rather see you go with that. Friend has rheumatoid, and the session on that would be great. Okay, Morgan. So like a discussion on rheumatism, maybe having a discussion on that. Is that what you mean, Morgan? Sorry. But yeah, Letitia, speak with your medical practitioner. Just from what I'm seeing with borax, it looks like a cleaning agent, like a detergent. So it's not something that I would recommend, and so I would definitely speak with your medical practitioner about that. I would go more with like your omega-3s, your antioxidants, your anti-inflammatory foods if you're dealing with joint pain, and lots of water, more so than anything along those lines. Now, thank you so much, guys, for the 27 thumbs up. On my end, I never see it. Sometimes it doesn't increase for me, so it could be more than 27. I'm not 100% certain, but thank you so much, guys, for all the support. I really appreciate it. But yeah, we can definitely talk a little bit about joint pain next time. I think that would be a good one. Yes, Morgan, we can definitely do that. I can make sure that I do that for you guys. That sounds like a fun one, and one that I'm fairly confident that I can give you guys really, really good value for it, for joint pain. That's something that I speak to clients pretty much, not every day, but quite often. Quite often I'm speaking about joint pain with clients, so we can definitely talk about that. I'll just give a quick little heads up. Fish oil, I'm a huge fan of. So, 28. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. The support is amazing. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. Let me give you another herb for lung support. Again, this is going to be another herbal supplement, guys. It can be found in most areas, but the way that you can take it, one, you can have it as a tea. Some people will have it raw, things of that nature, but it's going to be called Bayberry. I'm not sure if any of you guys have heard of Bayberry before. Let me just spell it out. Spelled out just exactly how it sounds. I think I might have heard of Bayberry Tea before. It's kind of a interesting looking fruit. It almost looks like raspberries, but almost with like little spikes on them sometimes. So, with Bayberry, the one thing that's really helpful for the respiratory system and for decreasing congestion in the chest is that it has a super high tannin count. All right. So tannins are super, super popular. I've talked about them in videos before. And so tannins are sort of this potent antioxidant. All right. So again, they're not found in a ton of different fruits, vegetables, different types of foods. And again, the nice thing is that they're not only an antioxidant, but they're also antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory. So that's the amazing thing about tannins, and that's why I want to bring up bayberries for you guys. All right, bayberries, one, antioxidants. All right, tremendous antioxidants, which again is going to help with decreasing respiratory illness. All right, colds and flus. All right, things of that nature. Decrease chest congestion, all right, and the symptoms that come along with that. But it also has antimicrobial effects, all right, which is tremendous. High antimicrobial effects, all right. And we see this in numerous studies, all right. Antimicrobial activity in tannins is amazing, all right. So we have that antimicrobial, all right, which again, in turn, is going to boost the immune system and help fight, well, not only microbes, but bacteria as well that can cause different respiratory issues, and also chest congestion if it's cold, flu, other types of bacteria or infections. All right, and then also anti-inflammatories. So it's like a 3-for-1, guys. It's tremendous. So bayberries are super high in those really, really powerful tannins. All right, when you think of tannins, think of it as like a unique combination of your body's almost like natural defense system, all right, that's able to support overall lung health and lung function, but also the respiratory system in general. All right, so that's why I really love bayberries, guys. Bayberries are great. If you can find them, see if you can add bayberries to your diet, because bayberries are, like I said, they're almost like a triple threat, just in the antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, and antimicrobial and antibacterial effects that they have. So I think that they're just absolutely tremendous, and I would recommend them to anyone. If there's, I believe green tea has tannins as well. Let's see here. I believe that I'm correct. Yes, green tea also has tannins, not as much as bayberries, but say you cannot find bayberry, you can use green tea in addition to that. So I know that's not a herb or a spice, but if you're looking for those tannins, those powerful tannins, then you can get that from green tea as well. The only thing is you would need to drink multiple green teas, so like 2, 3, sometimes even more. One usually is not enough to get those benefits. That's the one thing about green tea, is a lot of the studies that you find on them. One, yes, it's very, very healthy, but the other one is usually the studies show that you're drinking like 5 or 6 cups of green tea, which a lot of people aren't going to do every single day to get those health benefits. Does that mean that you shouldn't drink green tea? No, of course not. You should drink green tea. I think green tea is great. I have 2 green teas every day in a fairly large glass. So, I definitely drink my green tea, but just make sure that if you are, you're getting a pretty good amount of green tea there. But good. Bilberry. Yeah, so bilberries are a little bit different from bayberries. Paulette, they sound very similar. Bilberries almost look like blueberries, to be honest. You found bayberries dried. Okay, very nice. Bayberries dried. Just be careful with dried fruits, just because it can increase the sugar of, like, take for instance like raisins or apricots. A lot of the times people will take in that dried fruit thinking that it's healthy, it's a healthy snack. Hey, I'm eating grapes. Like for raisins, I'm eating apricots. But when you sort of dry them out, you're really increasing the amount of sugar in them, and you don't need to have a lot in order to add that sugar to them. So it adds quite quickly. So thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate the support on the channel. I think going forward, it seems like we've had quite a few new people onto the channel today. I mean, I do see some obviously familiar faces. Paulette, always here showing some support, but everyone else as well. Morgan, Letitia, Chester, Joe was in here. Lynn. Sorry, I can't scroll all the way up, or else I would. Morgan, I think I said. Poojan was in here. So thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hey, no problem, Morgan. Yeah, just be careful with those dry ones. Marsha, thank you so much. Got to go. Everyone have a blessed day. Yes, thank you so much. You as well, Marsha. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming in. It'd be great to have you in more and more. I do these at least Wednesday and Saturday. Or Sunday, sorry. Wednesday, sometimes Saturday. It kind of depends. It's up to you guys. I don't know. Is 2 enough? Is 2 not enough? Is 2 too much? You guys let me know, because I like doing these. As long as you guys are enjoying them, I like coming on here and talking, even just chatting with you guys. It can be any sort of topic, but even just answering questions or just talking about health in general. I think it would be great. Maybe people who are listening to this later, because I know I'll put it up and then I'll have a few hundred, thousands of views later. People who are listening to this later on, let me know if you like 2 a week, if you want more than 2 a week. Just let me know. And if you're in chat right now, let me know as well. Right now we're going strong on 2 a week. We're getting back into that because we had a little bit of a busy summer. But let me know what you guys are thinking and what you guys are wanting in terms of how many live streams. All right, I'm always happy to come on here, and the support that you guys have been showing is just absolutely tremendous. With the thumbs up, on Sundays with the super chats. 2 is good. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Letitia. 2 is good. Keeps it nice and simple. Allows me to make the videos, get back to those daily videos and everything of that nature. But I have to say, guys, big shout out to Deborah again. Big shout out. You guys know who you are. I know some people don't always like the shout outs, but a lot of people have brought up to me. I wish that I could answer every question. Like, I just clicked on the comments, and there's been, since we've started this, there's been 36 comments, and the last one was 4 minutes ago. I wish I could respond to everyone's questions on here. It's just totally impossible for me. But there's been a lot of discussion. I brought this up a little bit on Sunday, I believe it was. Anytime is good for you, Paulette. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your support and always being here. But I've been getting more and more questions and more comments on, starting a Patreon, on starting a membership. I don't even know how that works, to be honest with you. I have no idea how any of that works, and it's not even really something I've looked into, to be honest with you. I just want it to be known, if you do feel like donating to the channel or whatever it is, because I'm not going to be creating a Patreon, guys. Probably not going to be doing a membership system. And again, I don't know how that works. The only way to do that is just to do a super chat in through the lives. And again, you do not have to do a super chat on the lives. I'm more than happy with having you guys in here and answering your questions and having the thumbs up and just getting your support that way. But that will be the only way that I accept anything like that. No Patreon. At least for now, I don't see it ever happening. I don't ever say never. No membership, nothing like that. I want you guys to be in here. And I don't want to block anyone out or to create some sort of paywall. And not that it's a bad thing. It's just my own personal preference. I just don't want to create a paywall. I want you guys to be able to get as much information as possible, if that makes sense. Thanks, Paulette. Oh, thank you, Lynn. My pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in and joining me today. What's a good baking dish that would help my health? Well, Letitia, that's a very loaded question. A good baking dish. So a good recipe for your health? I think if you're just going with raw foods and everything like that, anything with vegetables. What were you thinking? Give me some ideas, because the dishes that I always have are just a well-balanced dish. Like, you have good protein, you have healthy carb, you have healthy fats and vegetables. That's a healthy dish for me. Something that has all your micronutrients into it. Morgan, I am pleased because not everyone can afford that. Exactly. And you're just summed up my point perfectly, Morgan. And I do not want to create that paywall where not everyone can get in. This way, everyone can get in. And if you feel so inclined to do a super chat, then you can do it that way. But again, that you just summed it up perfectly, and that's why I would never do it. I just do not want to create that wall for people. I want as many people to get that information as possible. I hope that makes sense. I've been doing these videos for almost 9 years now. I think we're almost at 100 live streams. To me, it's just all about content, getting the information out there, and then, just having that support from you guys that way. Apple and cinnamon is nice. I always have apple and cinnamon in my oatmeal. I love that. It's almost like a treat, so to speak. Apple and cinnamon is great for the oatmeal. But I think if you're looking for like a good baking dish, I think anything with like good lean protein, doesn't have to be a lot. Even beans, so you could have like a meat alternative and everything like that. Have access, like a meat alternative, beans, lentils, things like that. That's your carb as well. That can be your carb. Good fiber in that, good micronutrients in that. I think that's great. And then you throw your veggies in there, maybe a little bit of healthy fat. Boom, you have a great healthy dish. Access for all. Absolutely. Access for all. You got it, Morgan. Your thoroughness is most appreciated. Well, thank you, Lynn. Thank you. I try to be as thorough as possible, especially in the live streams and in the videos. The videos I like to get a little bit quicker just because I know people are busy these days. So, it's not super short videos. You still get 3, 4, 4.5 minute videos. But I know, some people like the quicker videos, and I've gotten a ton of comments on that. So, thank you very much for that comment. Too many diets out there recommending protein diet. Yeah, well, like a keto diet and everything like that. I think you guys, I've talked about keto. Nothing wrong with keto. I think the best diet that you can do is the one that you can maintain for the rest of your life. It doesn't matter if that's keto, intermittent fasting, paleo, anything like that. And there's Morgan, intermittent fasting. So there you go. I think as long as you're doing that, something you can maintain, then you're on the right track. But any diet, as long as you're happy with it, you don't feel restricted, and you can keep it up for the long haul, and you're hitting your goals, I think that's the best diet for you. All right, guys. So I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Our next one is going to be on, what do we got? Today's Wednesday already. Geez, cannot believe it. So our next one will be on Sunday. Maybe we'll talk about joint health then, and we can get into that. So I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for all of the thumbs up. Thank you so much for all of the support. It's greatly appreciated. And I just want you guys to know that. So thank you very much. And I will talk to you guys on Monday. Have a safe, happy,